What's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you could tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing my labor and delivery story with you guys. So let's just jump right into it because you guys know that I could talk for centuries. So where do I even start? I got woken up at 2:30 in the morning on July 7th and my due date was July 5th. So I was 2 days late. I got woken up at 2:30 in the morning to have to go to the bathroom to go pee. Normal, you're pregnant, you're past 9 months at this point. Yeah, you're gonna go to the bathroom maybe a million times a night. So normal. I went to the bathroom, I peed, and I heard like a pop. I don't know how to explain what the hell I heard. It's not like a balloon being popped. It was kind of just like a little pop, and I felt it inside of me. Sorry for the too much info, but read the title of the video, sweetheart, okay? So I heard a pop, and in this book, What to Expect When You're Expecting, it says that when your water breaks, before your water breaks, you might hear a popping sound and might feel a sensation of something popping inside of you. So being a somewhat smart person, when I heard this pop, I sat on the toilet for like a minute or two thinking, okay, my water is going to start pouring out, so I should probably not get up. So I sat on the toilet and nothing happened. So, you know, you do what a normal person does. You wipe yourself up and you go back to bed. So I couldn't sleep. So I pulled out my phone, and you're late in your pregnancy. If you're anything like me, you're going to be a maniac. You're going to want to self-diagnose yourself, Google stuff, see what other women are saying, because there's so many sites where women post their experiences and ask questions for other moms, and there's so many sites like that. So of course you type in like past due, 2 days late, heard a pop, pregnant, something like that, and all of these like forums are gonna come up. So I started reading those, and basically everyone was saying the same shit, you know. Oh, I heard a pop and then nothing happened. I ended up going into labor 2 weeks later. Some woman would say, yeah, I went into labor that night, yada yada, no big deal. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna psych myself out reading this crap because I've been doing it my entire pregnancy. I put my phone down on the dresser next to my bed, and I try to get comfortable and go back to sleep. And I start getting like period cramps, which is normal. You'll get them throughout the end of your pregnancy if you're anything like me. So I start feeling these period cramps, and I was told that if you think you're having a contraction and you get yourself comfortable, like if you change position, so let's say I'm sleeping on my left side and I feel a period cramp, if you go onto your right side and it goes away, then it's not a real contraction. So that's exactly what I did. I felt a cramp, I moved to get comfortable, and it went away. So I was like, okay, nothing's happening. I finally get comfortable maybe after 5 or 10 minutes, and out of nowhere, it's like I freaking peed myself, and you can't stop it. It just like kind of happens. You obviously didn't pee yourself. This water is coming out of your vagina. So I'm like, what the hell? It wasn't a lot at first. It was like a little bit. And they also tell you, well, according to women whose water have broken, they tell you that if you do like a Kegel exercise, Kegel, I don't know how the hell to say it. If you do one of those exercises where you're basically like contracting or pushing on, I don't know what the hell, you're like squeezing your vaginal muscles, whatever the hell it is. They say that if you do that in the middle of your water breaking and it doesn't stop, that means that your water did in fact break. But if you do that and it does stop, that means you're just peeing yourself. So of course I do one of those exercises, and I tried to, you know, squeeze my vag. Sorry, this is so awkward. and the water just kept pouring out. So I roll over to my side and I smack Rob, and I'm like, it's time. Like, I think it's time. And he's like, what? You know, being whatever the hell Rob is. And I get up and all this water just pours out. So I run to the bathroom and I sit back on the toilet. He's awake. He's coming into the bathroom, which is where I'm at. He's opening this door. He's like, what's happening? What's happening? Is it time? I was like, yeah, dude, like, you have to go get my mom, wake her up and tell her that it's time. I'm going into labor. So I'm sitting on the bathroom. I'm sitting on the toilet, and all this water is just pouring out. I mean, my water is breaking. So they say that you could fill up like a bucket of all the water that's coming out of you. My mom comes downstairs. She's all excited because she's been waiting forever for me to go into labor. It's like all we've been talking about for the days following up to this. So she's like, oh my God, it's happening, isn't it? And she was like consulting me, or whatever the hell the word is, like just being there for me. She was like, you need to call your doctor. You know, I started calling my OB, and she was like, I'm gonna go jump in the shower and I'm gonna get ready because I wanted my husband, Rob, and I wanted my mom to be in the delivery room with me. So she went to go jump in the shower and put on her clothes because she was gonna be there with me all day. So I called my OB, and they sent you to voicemail because it's 2:30 in the morning. There's no one in the office. They don't send you to voicemail, my bad. They send you to like the emergency operator. And so the lady was like, hey, what's going on? And I said, I'm 2 days late and my water just broke. And I, you know, told her my doctor, and she said, okay, I'll have her call you back. And the OB office where I go to, they have 3 delivery doctors on call. So whoever was awake at the hospital already was going to deliver my baby. So at this point, I am sitting on a towel in my bedroom on the floor, on the carpet. So I'm like sitting on a freaking bundled up towel, basically naked. And I'm just sitting there while this water is pouring out, and I'm texting like my group chat. I'm texting my sisters. Obviously everyone's sleeping. I think I texted one of my girlfriends. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And she was still awake because where she lives, I guess the time is different. So I sound like such an idiot. So yeah, she was awake and she texted me back, and that was cool. So I'm basically just sitting there waiting for my doctor to call me back. And I get a call, I pick it up, and it's my doctor, Avi. And she's like, you know, what's going on? Is this your first baby? I was like, yes, blah, 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 answering all these questions. And she was like, well, you basically don't have to come into the hospital till like 8 a.m. because that's when, you know, your contractions are going to be unbearable. That was just like her guesstimate, right? She was like, you have time. You don't have to come to the hospital unless you want to. It's up to you. I'm here. So at this point, it's like 3 a.m. My bags have been packed for weeks. My mom just got out of the shower. Rob is all packed up. He's like annoyed, of course he is, because he got woken up in the middle of the night, but he's excited. And it's like 3 o'clock and I start having contractions. So don't even ask me how to explain the feeling of having a contraction because I can't freaking tell you. It's not like a period cramp. It's like you lose your breath. Okay, that's how painful it is. So I'm in so much pain that I'm like holding on to the walls in my house, like literally, like I'm holding on to the walls, like trying to talk to myself. I literally, what was I saying to myself? I was pacing around my house, holding onto walls, bending over, getting on my knees, and I was like whispering to myself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, trying to get myself in like the right headset of like what the hell I'm about to endure. So I keep just pacing around my house, saying I can do this, I can do this. And every single time that I had a contraction, Robert would write down the time, and then he would be like, is it over? And then he would write down the time, because when you go to the hospital, they're gonna ask you how far apart your contractions are, because that kind of gives them an idea as to when you're going to go into labor. And there's a whole bunch of shit that goes into it. But just a little disclaimer, I was already 3 centimeters dilated when I went into labor. So I think my contractions were like 3-4 minutes apart, and you could obviously tell. At this point, I couldn't even speak. It was like 3:30. I couldn't even speak. Every single time Rob would ask me, he'd be like, you know, are you having a contraction? I'd be like, what the fuck do you think? Sorry, but I'd be like, yes, obviously. Like, I'm dropping to the floor. At this point, I think I'm like crying. I'm like, Mom, we need to go. Like, we need to go to the hospital. I cannot wait any longer. We waited till about 4 a.m. because I was trying to be a trooper. I waited till about 4 a.m. And I was like, let's get our things, let's go. Even my mom was like, you cannot wait. Like, you need to be in a hospital right now, because I was a goddamn mess. Call me what you want. I know that some women really stick it out for like hours and don't go to the hospital till like the absolute last minute, because your home is your comfort, so you'd rather be there, right? But my ass wanted the epidural. So, sorry, I'm swearing so much. I am such trash. So, the whole way to the hospital, which is like 10 minutes from my house, not even, I am like telling my mom to step on it, and there's road work the entire way there, and we're like bumping all over the road because it's like dirt. And I'm just like telling my mom to freaking step on it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, let's go. I can't do this. I'm like holding onto the freaking car door, trying not to die. We get to the hospital, and the nurses were so great. Like, the daytime nurses were cool too. I mean, a few of them were like, why are you working at a hospital? But majority were great. But the nighttime nurses were the best. They were these 2 blonde young girls, and they were like holding me. They were like asking me questions, but at the same time they were being so like, I don't even know, not like sympathetic, but they just like knew what I was going through. And you're so annoyed because they have to ask you questions. You're at the hospital, but at the same time they were like, babe, I know, like, breathe, you know, doing their job. So they were like, the quicker that you answer these questions, the quicker we can have the anesthesiologist come in here. I just butchered that word. The quicker we can have him come in here and give you the epidural. So just like bear with us. So I'm like answering their questions left and right. And finally the epidural guy comes in, and at this point I am screaming. Like, I'm, no joke, screaming, moaning, yelling, God help me. Like, my mom and my husband had to step out of the room, and they could hear me from down the hallway screaming, God, please help me. God help me. God help me. Like, I literally was screaming that. So yeah, God did help me, and I did get the epidural. And let me just tell you that, oh my God, he's crying. I'm sorry. My parents are taking care of him while my brother and my husband are swimming. I know, he's swimming and he should be taking care of the baby, but whatever. He needs to have his fun too, right? So it just breaks my heart to hear him crying. But I did pump milk, so he shouldn't be missing me too much. I exclusively breastfeed him, and I pump once a day. And I strictly kept the bottle out so that they could give him it while I do this video, because I need to start gaining a supply for when I go back to school in less than a month. Anyways, let's redirect to what I was talking about. I got the epidural, and let me just tell you, even though the shot is like this freaking big, probably bigger, that was like the least dramatic, traumatizing thing that I went through. I love that shit. The epidural was great. After that, it was all smooth sailing. I was like chilling on my phone. I was like, this is great. I was texting people. I was like, you know, I'm going into labor, but this is going to be a breeze. I lost track of time though, to be honest with you. So I don't know what time it was at this point, but let's just say at 12 o'clock, the doctor checked me, and I think I was like 9 centimeters. So she was like, yeah, you're gonna be going into labor within like the hour. So the nurse comes in and she tells me that, she was like, do you want me to get you a new like epidural bag, which would basically make it so I was still numb from the waist down? And I was like, yeah, like no shit, I don't want to feel anything. And let me just say that this woman scammed me, okay? She knew that she wasn't going to give me another epidural bag, because basically when it's time for you to push, they want you to be able to feel that you have to push, or else you won't push correctly. So why the hell she didn't tell me that, I don't know. Why are you like trying to give me an option if I don't really have one anyways? It would have been nice to know that I was going to feel everything. Would have been nice to prepare for that. So come like, what was it, like 1:15 or something like that, the doctor comes in, she's like, you're fully dilated, do you feel like you need to push? And basically they say that when you feel like you need to push, you're basically, it feels like you need to do a bowel movement. So when you feel like you have to poop, that is when it's time to start pushing your baby out. So I was like, no, I don't feel like I need to poop, but I feel like I need to push. So even though that makes no freaking sense, they were like, all right, let's get you ready. And this is where it gets like choppy, because, oh my God, he's crying. Can they give him the bottle? Psycho mom. Hold on, because I can't. Mom, Dad, did you guys give him the bottle? Yeah. Give him the bottle. What are you waiting for? Okay. My God. Sorry, I'm back. So this is where it gets like choppy, because I was delivering my baby, and it was, for me, very traumatizing. I felt everything, and I also didn't have the best experiences with the nurses in my room. My doctor was great. My doctor was like my main focus. I was literally like staring into her eyes the entire time. But the nurse on my left side, I wanted to punch her in the face. At one point, you have to like have your legs, like, I don't know what the hell it's called, like bent up. And they're like holding your legs, and you have to hold underneath your legs while you're freaking pushing. And I felt the contraction coming, and during a contraction is when you need to freaking push. So I felt a contraction coming, and this lady to my left side was like, push. And I was like, I'm not ready. Like, I'm so uncomfortable. Like, just stop. She was like, well, you put your leg up. Sweetie, I don't give a fuck what kind of day you're having on the job. I'm delivering a baby, and you better watch yourself, okay? Don't freaking test a woman who is pushing a 9-pound baby out of her pinhole, okay? So I literally wanted to kick that woman in the face. Thank the Lord that I was not raised that way. But I have my husband to my left side. My mom is like behind him praying, staring at me like, girl, I wish that I could take your pain away. That's what my mom kept saying to me. She was like, I wish I could do this for you. And my husband is fanning me with like a freaking menu from the hospital lunchroom or something. So yeah, every time I felt a contraction, I had to basically push like I was pushing the biggest poop out in the entire universe. That is what labor is like for you guys watching. I hope this is magnificent to hear. So it got to the point where I just like couldn't do it. Like the pain was so fucking unbearable that I was just like, they saw me, I was like I can't do this. I can't do this. And they gave me that, what the hell is it called? That stuff that they give you when you are getting like a tooth pulled or whatever. Laughing gas. They gave me that shit. So you have to sign a paperwork in order to get it. So I'm literally laying there having contractions. My baby is like in my freaking vaginal canal at this point. I'm like a mess. And I'm signing paperwork. Okay? Do you want to know what that paperwork looked like? Chicken scratch. I'm like signing my name. It doesn't even look like my goddamn name, okay? They bring the stuff in and I am on a roll, sucking the stuff in like it's the last day of my life, okay? And I'm trying to save myself. Even the nurses were like, girl, are you okay? Like, you should probably slow down with that. They were actually saying, can I have a hit of that? Because I was like sucking this in like you don't even know, okay? You guys get the gist. I still feel high even talking about it. So as you can see, I'm like in fight or flight mode as I'm telling you guys this part of the story. So yeah, I am high as a kite, and every single time I feel a contraction, I'm like, it's coming. And I'm lifting my legs up and I'm just, they're like, all right, let's go. And my doctor's like, you could do this, like big heavy push, you know, like you got this, girl. So I'm just like staring into her eyes. And she's like, you're doing great. You're doing great. Like one more push like that and he's out. And at this point, okay, at this point, if you're a male and you are watching this video, you should probably click out because you're not gonna like what I gotta say. Because if your girl is gonna get pregnant one day, she's gonna have to get through this unless she has a C-section, which is fine, but whatever. I kept feeling this little boy of mine coming up and then going back in. So literally his head is poking out of my vagina and then my vagina is sucking him back in to my canal. So I'm traumatized at this point. And my doctor's like kind of talking to the other nurses like, do we bring her in to get a C-section? Like this isn't, I'm like pushing with all my might and she's like, this is kind of a disaster. I don't know the exact medical terminology for this, but I basically had to get snipped down there. So yeah, I felt all of that, and after getting snipped, I did a couple heavy pushes and his face finally came out, and after that they just pull him out. So the head was the worst freaking part. And I find out that my son was 8 pounds 15 ounces, which if you don't know, now you know, that's an ounce away from being 9 pounds. So I was told that my son was like 6.5 pounds, 7 pounds. No, he was 9 pounds. Which, you know, there's been cases where women have pushed out 22 pounders, but yeah, for a woman my size, that was a clear-cut C-section. Like, if they knew that he was that big, they would have easily brought me in to have a C-section because I was traumatized. My eyes were bloodshot. My face was puffy. I was a freaking whale, okay? Blood all over the room. I'm getting stitched up, and my baby is on the other side of the delivery room, and he's blue, and he can't breathe because he was stuck inside of, not my uterus, my vaginal canal. I keep saying vaginal canal. That's not the right word for it, okay? Bear with me because I'm talking about a beautiful, traumatizing event that happened to me not so long ago. So he's like blue, crying. I'm praying. My mom's praying. My doctor's stitching me up. She's like, you did great. You did great. For a first timer, holy crap. Like you pushed out a 9-pound baby girl. Not baby girl. I don't have a baby girl. Okay. So yeah, I obviously got, cut down there. I also got ripped up, so I'm getting stitched up, and they take the baby out of the room to basically resuscitate him. So my husband just basically keeps asking me, he's like, can I please go see him? Can I please go see him? Because I brought him to the nursery to basically make him breathe. My mom rushes out of the room to go be with him, and I was like to my husband, I was like, can you please just stay with me for a few more minutes until I'm done being stitched up, because I don't want to be alone right now. But I felt bad because he obviously wanted to go see his son, but I did too, girl, and what did I just go through? So yeah, I couldn't see him right away. They obviously took him away, and I'm just sitting there traumatized, a mess. Yeah, I went through that. There's little snippets of the story that you guys don't have to know. I think I already shared a gruesome amount. But yeah, that room was a freaking bloodbath. And it's been a whirlwind ever since, if that's even a correct term for what I am feeling, what I went through. Yeah, after that, it was smooth sailing. I'm about 4 weeks postpartum right now, so I can't believe it's been a month. It's almost been a month since I went through that. It feels like yesterday. When I think of the story, the experience in my head, it feels like yesterday. It was just freaking insane. And I didn't sleep that night. I didn't sleep the next night. I didn't sleep for the first week. I'm still so infatuated, but I was so on mommy guard mode that I just could not sleep. I was so scared that something was going to happen to him with all this like SIDS bullshit that they try to scare you with. I was like, oh my God, like he's going to somehow turn in the little bassinet thing and he's gonna suffocate. So I was just like watching him all night till basically the nurses came in and they were like, you're still awake? We're taking your baby to the nursery so that you could sleep. But yeah, that's basically that. Some people have an amazing experience. My experience wasn't so pleasant, but you know, people have more kids, so I'm already, what, 4 weeks post, and I'm already thinking, shit, I could do that again. So yeah, this video is already, what, 30 minutes long, something like that. And I apologize for it being all over the place. This is like a fresh story, but it's also not one that I've written down step by step. But I'm gonna be doing more videos like my postpartum experience, like where I'm at with that, my weight loss, like what I eat. I also want to start doing vlogs so I can show you guys like my life in a day with a newborn. That's like my next video that I'm gonna do for you guys. I'm probably gonna do like breastfeeding like tips too, because I exclusively breastfeed. So yeah, dude, having a baby is freaking insane. I can't leave the house, and every single time I feel like I have him figured out, he changes. I'm running on no sleep, and it's the best feeling in the world being a mom. It really is. You stop and you admire yourself. Not to be like cocky, but it really ups your confidence. And the reason why I really haven't done YouTube videos during the end of my pregnancy was because I was not confident at all. I hated myself. I hated what I looked like. I felt huge. I weighed 170 pounds. I looked huge. I felt huge. I felt disgusting, and I definitely had the lowest self-esteem in the world. And that's sad because I was doing something so beautiful. I was pregnant. But yeah, now I'm back. I'm feeling great. In my postpartum steps, my baby is doing great. He's in the 90th percentile for height and weight, which means he's freaking huge. So he's probably at this point 11, maybe close to 12 pounds. So he's doing great. He's freaking huge. All he wants to do is eat. So it's amazing that I got to even have a minute to myself and record this video. I wanted to do it so bad, and even though it's probably going to be scatterbrained and crazy, I recorded, and that was my plan. That's what I wanted to do for you guys. So sorry if this video did not exceed your expectations of the story that you thought I was going to share, but I feel friggin' accomplished for finally recording, because that's what I want to do. I want to do YouTube videos. So thanks for listening to me ramble. There's more where that came from. Hopefully my next video will be a vlog. I'll try to get that up in a week or two, but no promises, girl, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned.